Hello.
Hi guys. If you can't tell, we swapped cameras, so we might be looking a little different today.
Yeah, maybe a little more HD, a little bit. You get a little bit of a different perspective on our skin.
And I probably look a little tanner and vintage in this camera.
And I probably look a little more blurred. Hi, I'm Grace.
Hi, I'm Carmela, and welcome back to the Worthy Woman podcast.
The place where we don't give you your worth, but we can help you find it. Today we're going to be talking about holy girl habits, a godly woman mindset, taking a trip down memory lane of us in high school. We're going to kind of dive deep into who we were and who we are now, and maybe you're somewhere in between. Maybe you're with us right here, right now, or maybe you are us a little bit ago. Either way, wherever you are, that's great. Let's all grow together. And so we're just going to try and guide you and show you the right way to be a holy girl, be a Christian woman.
Yeah. Becoming that worthy woman, becoming that godly woman. Having those holy girl habits. Wow. It's pretty deep. Getting rid of those bad, sinful habits, replacing them with the new.
Yeah. I don't know if I really like the phrase holy girl. Like, that just sounds like stuck up.
Okay.
Anyways, so I don't know. I like Christian woman, godly woman.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like there's this connotation with the word holy, even though it really means set apart. When people hear the word holy, they're like, oh, holier than thou, and that means you're judging everybody. So I think Christian woman, godly woman is more accurately represents what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So,
All right.
Carmela, who were you in high school?
Man, I was somebody that is a whole different person than who I am now. I mean, sometimes I look back on who I was and some things I would say or do, and I was like, wow, I cannot even imagine even just the thought of doing that today. And it's just crazy because, I mean, I'm 21, about to be 21. It's only like 5-6 years ago that I was doing and saying and thinking and treating people this way. And yeah, so I guess I will give you guys a little insight into who I was in high school. Yeah, in high school, before I started these intentional habits and rooting them within my faith, I always felt very overwhelmed and distracted and disconnected, really. And I would use God as like a emergency contact rather than like the source of my life. And I had such bad habits, things that were just completely stripping me from all joy, all growth in my life as a teenager, making me very sad and anxious and just going down the really wrong path, honestly. So I wrote down like 3 bad habits that I really struggled with in high school that I can think of, the really main ones. And I wrote down gossiping, staying up super late, and FOMO. Those were 3 of the things that I was in my everyday life, honestly. I was always gossiping with everybody, FaceTiming girls, hanging out with girls, and talking really bad about others at my school or people that I knew, and sometimes even girls I was friends with. I'm not happy of that, and staying up really late. That was like the cool thing to do, like stay up late, go out, sneak out, stay up late and doom scroll, text and FaceTime, and who cares about a bedtime, right? Because, your parents would she would put me to bed and I'd be like, okay, good night. And then I would be like, grab my phone, turn on my lights. I'd be up all night. And then FOMO. And that is something I still kind of struggle with too, like always kind of like wanting to be everywhere at once. Yeah. What about you, Grace?
So, little Grace in high school, I think I was just really unsure of myself, and I just struggled so much with insecurity and anxiety, depression, all of these things that were making me doubt myself. And I was never confident, and I was never sure of anything. I was very like I had no hope for the future. I had no confidence in the future. I had no confidence within myself. And I think that showed up with, a lot of apathy towards like my appearance, apathy towards health, like wellness, like mental health, and also, like you were saying, just going to bed really late, just really not taking care of yourself. And that was me. I really struggled with putting myself first. I literally never did, ever. I never treated myself as a priority. And I feel like I neglected myself a lot. I feel like that's the type of person I was, and I never saw myself being anything other than that. And like I never had a boyfriend in high school, so I wasn't like, I felt like I had nobody to impress. I felt like I had nobody to, like dress up with, like, or look pretty for, like anything. So I didn't value that part of myself, and I like didn't care, And so I felt very out of touch, like with me being feminine. And I think that how one feels about themselves translates to how they present themselves. The saying like, you look good, you feel good. That's totally me. That's how I feel. I feel like when I'm dressed up, when I put effort into my appearance, I feel good. I feel prepared. I feel confident. I feel like I can like conquer anything. And I never valued that when I was younger. And I really did not want to be seen in high school. I did not want to be seen at all. I didn't want to be embarrassed. Like I had a huge thing for embarrassment. That was my biggest fear, is like being rejected, failing, and being embarrassed about like myself. So that was my entire mindset of myself and how I viewed me. And so that mindset turned into habits. So like going to bed at 1 a.m. and then, getting up at like 6 for school. You know what I mean? Huh?
Nothing. Keep going.
Wait, what did I say?
No, nothing. I thought you meant like 6 p.m.
No.
I was like,
No.
Okay.
No, because, and I did like sports in high school, did like pom and everything and dance, whatever. And so it's like you had practice after school for a long time, like 2-hour practices. And then you'd get home, whatever. And I would stay up till like 1 a.m. And then I would have 5 hours of sleep. Like I was neglecting myself and, going into the habits again, like skipping breakfast, like not making friends, like just being consumed with anxiety. And I think especially being really hopeless about the future. So that was me in high school. I didn't like dabble into the party stuff, into all of these social things in high school. That wasn't me. I was more isolated, and I was more like struggling with myself so much that I didn't want to be around anybody at all. So
yeah. I think it's good that our worthy women are getting almost like 2 different perspectives, 2 different stories as well, because I feel like in high school I was the opposite. I was like too confident. I wanted to be everywhere. I wanted to be the center of attention. I was mean. I was prideful. I was cocky, just all these things. And I wanted to be in the parties. I wanted to be with the most popular guy, the most popular girl friend group. And I mean, that destroyed me, honestly. So you guys get two little different testimonies from us, which is good because maybe there's some girls like me kind of struggling with this like FOMO, and then maybe girls that struggle with like confidence. So I think that's good.
For sure. And then, you'll see after we share how we are now, we ended up at the same place. So I think that's really important.
So who I am now is I'm still Carmela. I do always love fun and entertainment, and I do thrive off that. I love laughing. I love being in community with people, but now I look for genuine people that are going to give me life, people that I can be myself with and not perform for or be perfect for. And I don't talk badly about people because I try to redirect the conversation into we don't know what they're going through. Let's pray for them. We should not talk about our neighbors like that, especially women, because women do struggle a lot with confidence and insecurities, and we're all not perfect. So I don't seek that validation within people anymore, and I don't stay up late. I really find the joy and I delight in my rest. It's a gift. It's not time taken away from other things, but it's a gift that is well deserved from a long day, no matter what task you completed that day. Beauty sleep is an important and real thing. If you get good sleep and take care of yourself, you will look and feel good, and your faith won't be diminished by it. I think when I was staying up super late, I was damaging my faith, because in the night is when the enemy whispers the loudest. I would get so lost in my thoughts and just trying to have that me time, because I was alone finally from the day, in silence, free of distractions. But really that wasn't the case. I was more distracted than ever from God when I would stay up late and abuse this time for rest and taking care of myself. And so I don't do that. I have a bedtime. As much as I try to go to sleep early unless I have work or something, but it is prioritized now, my health and my wellness, and taking pride in that. And yeah. And one verse that really helped me that I would always read is Proverbs 31:26, and it says, "She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue." And I think that goes for the gossiping part of it, but also just to yourself, treating yourself with kindness, because you are God's daughter as well. And just as much as he cares about the peers around you that you should not be speaking badly about or treating poorly, you should be doing the same to yourself as well.
That's good. So me now, I would say probably from 19 to now. 19 is probably when I started shifting my mindset so much, having an epiphany of the Lord, of the truth. I accepted my freedom in Christ later now, and I finally realized that God gave me the victory over anxiety, insecurity, everything I was struggling with. God gave me that authority and that victory over it because of the sacrifice of Jesus. And that's always been there. But when I was younger, I was never living in that, and I think a big part of that was like just the world, and also a lot of Christians who say that, that anxiety, that's just a chemical imbalance inside of your brain. That's not really something you can escape. You can't beat your biology. But that is such a lie, because Jesus' sacrifice, if he defeated death, if he raised Lazarus from the dead, if he healed the blind, and if he made the paralyzed walk, anxiety is nothing. Anxiety is nothing is nothing compared to the victory of Jesus. And so, it's like Jesus' sacrifice is for everything, is for all. He has victory over the world. It's not a picking and choosing, and it's part of your brain matter. That's not it. There's no limits, right? And so I finally realized that anxiety was not my identity. That's not a part of my makeup and my brain. It's Jesus has full ultimate authority, and I sacrificed that, and I gave that up to Jesus to actually take care of it, because you can know Jesus, but if you're not sacrificing, and if you're not actually inviting the Lord to change your life, it's not going to happen. And so my biggest mindset shift from when I was younger in high school compared to now, almost graduating college, is that my view of myself and my view of my relation to God changed. I just totally had this ingrained mindset that I was like worthless and it didn't really mean anything. I'm not that big of an impact on anybody or anything in this world. We're just like worms that aren't deserving of anything. But also realizing, and also reading Genesis is really, really, really good. But that we're created in the image of God. That's so, so special. You are not anything like animals, like all the rest of creation. We're totally different from the rest of creation. We're made in the image of God. Nothing else is, only humans. And so that is incredibly special. And every single person on this earth has a God-given purpose because they were created by the Creator with a purpose and intent in mind. And so I realized that, and I said to myself, well, I'm not deserving of nothing. You know what I mean? Like I am worthy because Jesus died on the cross for me. Because Jesus loves us so much, we are worthy. Because of Jesus' sacrifice, we're worthy. And because of our origin of creation, we are worthy. We're worth something, like, and it's not even the same as money, right? Because money has worth, but it's because it's assigned worth. It's not that the paper inherently has worth, it's that it was assigned worth. But it's different for us because we have inherent worth. We were created with value. It's not that we were assigned value. The actual material, the actual thing that makes up us is valuable, which is really crazy to think about. We are bought with a price. And so, in high school, I was just like, we are totally depraved. We are nothing more than sinners. We deserve nothing. And, in like a sense that's true to some extent, but you can't neglect the fact that we're created good and that we are so special and that we are made in the image of God. We have a soul, and that is totally different than anything else. And so I think that for somebody like me who never found worth in themselves, you can at least find that worth in the fact that you are a human being. So you do have value. Even if you think you have nothing to offer, you do. At the very basic level, you do. And then I also had this view in high school that that I thought being a Christian meant your life was going to suck all the time, and that, that ignorance is bliss kind of thing. I know the truth, and I now have to live a certain way. I have an obligation. It's not going to be as free, and it's not going to be what my desires are, how I would want to live my life. I can't, because I'm a Christian now. And I think that's totally changed my mindset. My mindset in that is totally different, and I have a completely opposing view of that. Our happiness is not separate from God's glory. And so when we do things that honor the Lord, that were created by God good, we are flourishing, and we are actually very happy. And you are going to be happier when you submit yourself to something higher than yourself. And I didn't realize that back then.
Going off a little bit of what Grace said, I viewed myself in that way too in high school. Worthless, no hope. And so it's just kind of funny because we felt the same way in a sense, but we did different things to cope. And my way of coping was trying to prove myself and trying to distract myself from these feelings and my home life, just wanting to be out constantly. And how I view myself now is just completely different on how I viewed myself in high school. And in high school, I did view myself as I did view myself as almost perfect. I did. And I think that's where I got in trouble a lot, because I thought I was never doing any wrong. I viewed myself as a great friend to everybody just because maybe I was making them laugh or I was just around them, but that doesn't equal a good friend, and it doesn't equal being perfect, maybe just by being liked or wanted around. And that's what I viewed myself back then, basically perfect, and I was just not, obviously. And now I'm a grown woman and I'm proud of who I am, but I don't view myself as perfect, which is kind of funny because I'm more confident now than I ever was in high school. But I viewed myself perfect back then, and I view myself not even the slightest perfect at all, but I'm more confident in myself now. So kind of ironic. I know that I don't do everything right, and I set boundaries, especially. That's one thing that I've really incorporated in my life that I could not do at all. Even if you paid me to do it, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. Because again, it's I wanted to be liked. And setting boundaries means maybe sometimes that person won't end up liking you at the end of it, because it's not by their standards of what they want to do in your life or around you. And yeah, now I set boundaries. I'm very confident in myself that I can do that. And I hold myself very accountable. I would say that I'm very strong. I think that's one of my spiritual gifts, is spiritual strength. I don't bend or maneuver when it comes to certain things that are thrown my way. I always figure it out. I always find a way. Nothing really affects me, and it's purely just because of Jesus Christ. It might hit me in the moment for a little bit, but other than that, I'm still
You'll
living.
get right back up.
I'm right back up. If I'm in the ring, I'm getting knocked out. Every second, I just stand right back up.
That's something that if you know Carmela, like if you are really involved with her and her life, you'll see like, I mean, for me, I see everything that she goes through, and like it's just crazy. It's like out of a movie, out of a book. And this is something I love about Carmela is that she has every single reason in the book to feel oppressed, feel beat down, live in self-pity, but she does not. She's like the only person I know that takes everything on the chin, and she seriously gets back up like nothing happened. and you like that's so crazy, because even adults that I know just don't do that. People will find any reason to feel victimized, to have an excuse for laziness, for bad decisions, but that's not you at all. You separate that from yourself, and I think that that's really godly and good, and I think that literally every woman should do that. Separate yourself from separate yourself from wrong things that have been done to you, because as women we really internalize that. That's why with like SA survivors, they don't tell anybody for a long, long time, and that's because they feel ashamed and feel like since something like that happened to them, it must be their fault. And that's something that women just do a lot. And it's a bad thing. That's why we're really easy to be like manipulated, or like taken advantage of. And so that's something I really like about you, that I love about you, is that you really separate yourself from bad things, or the short end of the stick. It's like you don't say, oh, life is out to get me, like, oh, it's always me. Like, no, you just think it's funny, and you have so much faith that God will make a way for you, and he always does. And I think that's why God does that for you, is because you have so much faith and you know that he will.
Yeah. Thank you. It's gonna make me cry.
So
what are you about to say?
So if you want to give her a punch, go ahead and do it. She'll stand back up like this.
I'll come right back up from the dead. Like, seriously. You can't
get rid of her.
Like, trust me. You got nothing on me. Like, honestly. Like, you guys have no idea. Nobody ever does.
Rejection? Nah.
I don't take no for an answer. I don't take punches. I don't take evil words. I don't take... You can literally strip me of everything. And guess what? I'm running. I'm running free. I'll be laughing. I'll be finding Grace, trying to go get some, like, Culver's or something. I don't even care. I don't know why that just came to my mind.
If anything, In-N-Out.
Oh, yeah, In-N-Out. I don't know why I said Culver's.
I want In-N-Out.
I want In-N-Out, too. Sounds really good. But that's how I know it's a godly gift that I am able to live my life in a way where I'm not affected by anything evil or bad. That definitely could tear me down, is because I don't have an answer for it. I don't. It's not. If somebody asks me, how do you do that? I don't know. I don't go and, like, I don't have a fight with somebody, a family member or a friend. Like, I don't have a fight with a family member or a friend, and then after I go for a mile run, I drink this certain juice, I do 10 push-ups. Okay, why am I like a guy? Why am I like a guy? Guys, sorry, let me go back into my feminine. I don't take a bath. I don't do a face. Like, that's seriously, maybe that's why I'm strong. Like, I think, like, a dude, I want to, like, go for a run, drink a juice, do some push-ups.
Juice.
No.
Juice.
Crack open a cold one. I don't do that. Like, okay. I don't take a bath. I don't do a face mask. I don't paint my nails, and then I'm all better. No, realistically, I actually do about 20 push-ups, solid ones, military style. And then, like, there's nothing that I do, like, after. I just pray. And, like, that's seriously it.
And let it go.
And I just move on. Like, I just keep living my life. And obviously there's some circumstances where, you know, I'm involved where, you know, I have to go apologize or I have to talk to this person again and, like, forgive them. And those are things that I just get done. You know what? I'm sorry. And I forgive you. Like, boom, diddity bop. Like, done. Next.
That's why Carmela and I have been, like, sisters for so long, friends for so long, is because we're both like that. Like, we have conflict a lot of the time, but we are...
Are you thinking about burger bowls? Sorry,
we're
just
not
go
going to
on.
talk about that. Okay, but with our conflicts, and, you know, in the Bible, it actually says to do this. It says to just basically confront them and talk about it and get over it. And that's what we do. You know, in any relationship, any friendship, you have to have a lot of forgiveness. Mm-hmm. You can't just cut somebody off if you're in conflict with them, you know, for that reason.
Yeah. And I think that's why me and Grace have stayed friends for so long. She's basically been my friend that has lasted out of high school. My only friend that's lasted basically out of high school.
Basically.
Well, the only one out of high school. Guys, just getting jelly over here.
What's mine is mine.
Anyways. It's because me and Grace, we don't hold grudges. We're not petty, like, at all. We actually prefer, like, straightforwardness. That's something that we do argue about sometimes, is when we're beating around the bush trying to play this little, like, girly game with each other. Like, girly game. Like, when we're like, oh, yeah, I really want ice cream right now. Or, like, something sweet sounds good, but I don't want to go. Like, no, we actually hate that when it comes to each other, or just anybody in general. For me, like, just straight up tell me, you want ice cream? Let's go get some. Like, that's something else about me. We're not going to turn this into, like, oh, reveal Carmela. But I am down for anything. Like, where did that even go? Like, people, like, be do with anything. Never mind.
This turned into a dating show of Carmela trying to sell herself.
Yeah.
Oh my
honestly,
god.
I'm really hoping somebody watches. This is me trying
application.
to
That's your application. She's down for anything. I wish somebody, when I was younger, said this to me. Like, I wish I really just heard this, and I wish this was, like, ingrained in my mind. But if you are a daughter of God, if you know Jesus, if you've been saved by Jesus, you have the ultimate authority. You yourself possess victory over the things that have a stronghold on you. Your family has generational divorce. You, because you are saved and because you have Jesus, you have ultimate authority and victory over that generational curse. If your family struggles with depression, anxiety, same exact thing. These things that are tormenting you, these things that are evil, you have authority over them because you have the Holy Spirit inside of you. And Jesus defeated that on the cross once and for all. And so it is up to you to actually live in the victory of Jesus. Because, like we said, you can know Jesus and you can accept his sacrifice, but you can also choose to not live in it. In 2 Corinthians 6:2, Paul says that the day of salvation is here. It's right now. You don't receive every single good gift of God and only in heaven. You know, it's like the Holy Spirit is with you now, Jesus is dwelling with you right now. You have victory, you have authority. You have the literal blessings of Jesus right now. Salvation is here. And so you literally don't have to live in what you're struggling with. You literally don't. You have to choose to basically grab a hold of Jesus' hand and let him help you get out. But we don't want to ask for help. And so it's right there for you, you know?
Yeah, and so I think we get really caught up in that, especially like when we're immature and trying to figure out life and our calling and even faith in general, is that we know the practices, we know who Jesus is, we go to church on Sunday, but we aren't really putting this into play in our life, living it out, living for Jesus, and walking in the authority of Jesus. But yeah, like we're not living for Christ, especially at such a young age, you know, because it's not normalized, that type of lifestyle and having these good, godly woman habits at that age. And that's something that I was not incorporating in my life. I was not living for Jesus, but I was going to youth group on Wednesdays and I was going to church on Sundays. I knew Jesus. I had a Bible on my nightstand, but was not living it out for sure.
So if you want to grow within yourself by the strength of God, we have some practical habits, mindset shifts to actually transform you into a godly woman, a Christian woman. One thing that I've really shifted my perspective on is taking care of myself, taking care of my body, because our bodies are really temples. You know, we talked about we're made in the image of God. These bodies are very, very special. Mm-hmm. And they were seriously handcrafted by the creator of the universe. And so by taking care of your body, that's, a sign of respect, right? Think about our churches. Think about the temples, before Jesus came. Think about the temples. They weren't trashed. People picked up, people cleaned. You know, at church we have cleaning Saturdays. Like, if you respect something, you upkeep it. And so if you respect the thing that God has given you, you should upkeep that. And I think that in a lot of ways that's shown through your appearance, you know. I think one way of knowing this is like, you know, when you eat like a bunch of junk food or you eat like a bunch of fast food and then the next day you break out, it's because that is something on the inside is wrong and it's showing on the outside. And I think that's true for a lot of things, especially just our mental mindsets and everything. And so if we're really struggling, I feel like a lot of the times you can tell, even though, you know, there might be some exceptions of like people looking really happy, looking really put together, and then on the inside, you know, they're struggling with something. Those are exceptions, but I think for the most part that a way that a person thinks of themselves, you can see that. And so I would say now I take care of my body, I take care of my health and my wellness and my spiritual health, and all of that I think shows by your demeanor, by your energy, and by your appearance.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Because in my like darkest moments, if I look at photos, it's like you really could tell. Like I didn't even have to say anything. Like just look at me.
The red hair, you know.
Red hair? When did I have red hair?
The red hair, the black eyeliner, we knew.
Okay, I was talking about my blonde. That's when I was really down bad, is when I was blonde.
Yeah. But also think of the red
hair. The pink hair. The pink hair. But turned out red on my hair. And my whole scalp was dyed pink. And I had about 5 chains. But
she's down for anything.
but I'm down for anything. It's getting a little too funsy. One habit that I have really focused in on as I've matured as a godly woman and in my faith and just getting older and living alone for a few years is cleanliness. I did not care about any of my belongings, anything. Like, my bathroom would be trashed, my room would be absolutely outrageous with clothes and cereal and just things like that. And it made my mind feel messy, and I didn't care. Like, I seriously did not care. And I felt like almost I was living a lie in a way, because I know that sounds kind of silly, but like, you know, I would come to school like all like, ooh, like, oh, like clean and like cute outfits and like all pretty, and then I would go home and like into this mess. And I was like portraying the side of me that like wasn't really who I was. And now I cannot go to sleep without a spot clean room. Grace, what are you doing that face for?
I'm just thinking about the dishes.
Okay, some nights I let the dishes sit, but I will clean them in the morning. Like, okay, it's like a pot and a pan. I cook for one. So, and to come home, I mean, you deserve that. You deserve a clean space, a clean bed, a bed that's made, and you should make it for yourself. And that's it, because that's what you deserve. You deserve to come home to a clean bed. And again, even in our last few videos, we talk about that, how these things take hard work. Things that are good, things that bring life, things that are going to make you flourish and fulfill you don't just come easy. You have to put in the work. And that is the truth. That's just the reality of it. So make your bed, have a clean space, because also, godly women, you are going to be married one day. And guess what? Not only are you going to have to train yourself to do things a certain way for yourself, but you're going to have a husband to take care of, and you're going to have children that you're going to have to pick up after. So if these habits aren't enforced right now into your life when it's just you, then they're not going to ever happen when you have a family. And if they do, it's going to be way harder, and it's not going to be as effective as it would be if you start those great godly woman, holy girl, Christian girl habits right dang now.
I don't know about you guys, but I think this is Carmela's new look. I mean, as you're talking, like, I just want to listen to you.
Really?
Like, you are.
Wow.
I just think this is your new era. I think this is your godly woman aesthetic, everything. This.
Really?
You look amazing. The slick back hair, the glasses, the chunky earrings. Like, this is, I think, who you were made to be.
Wow.
I think this has to be her aesthetic. Aren't I right? I think she should dress like
You're
this.
being so nice today. Let me just say something that I really love about Grace.
Oh, please.
I mean, do you guys hear her? All these good things said about me when she was saying how, like, strong I am, and that's one thing she really loves, and that's one of my gifts. She has to take a little bit of credit for it. I mean, seriously, that's one thing I love about Grace, is because I seriously don't think I could get through everything completely without her, because she's such an encouragement. She has everything just flowing out of her mouth is just so beautiful, so encouraging. I mean, seriously, everyone deserves a sister and friend like Grace. She is the most bestest friend ever. Like, seriously, you're the most best friend to hang out with, to talk to look at, to listen to, like, to learn from. Like, you guys think that I'm just coming up with this? No. I learn from her. Like, she is my mentor, and she is my light, and she is my role model. I wish to be her when I grow up.
Stop. I love you.
Yeah, guys, I mean, Grace is just so intelligent and so beautiful, and she is just such an encouragement. And seriously, all the strength is a help from her, because everything I've gone through, I come to her and she just speaks such great things over me, just positive things and logical things. Like, she doesn't feed into my lies or deception of what's going on in my life, and other people that are feeding me lies about me. Like, she looks at me and she like tells me the truth, like looks me in the eye, and that's something that I just really appreciate from you. And honestly, I don't see anyone else ever doing that ever. So
Thanks, honey. I love you.
I love you too. Also, Grace and me stopped saying love you because
Yes.
she was like, what'd you say to me about the I? What does it mean?
Because, I notice because I do it sometimes too, and a lot of people do it, but when you say, like, love you, kind of casually, well, first of all, it loses its meaning because you're saying it so casually, because we're afraid to say I love you, because that means a little something more, that's like actually serious. And saying I love you is like you're exposing your emotions. You're being vulnerable.
And it's almost like a commitment because you're like claiming to that person. And it was so weird because at first, like a few years ago, when she started to say I to make me say it, why was it actually so hard to say for me? Like, oh my gosh, I would like cringe at it. I would have to like pull it out of me to say like I love you, and that was just so weird and something that I really had to grow from. I have sometimes a struggle with my emotions and being vulnerable and giving that to somebody. So that's really helped me though, which is crazy. Just by saying the I in front of love you has actually helped me like with commitment issues.
That solved your commitment issue.
That's all it took. So start saying I love you too.
Or try to notice if you do that. Because, it's not really something that you notice that you do. So when you're saying like love you to somebody, like think about what you're saying. And if you do say that, try to say I love you, and you'll see how hard it is.
It is hard.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard.
But all right.
Okay, guys.
Well, that turned into like a really fun episode. So
yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys got something good from this that you can learn and implement in your life. We love you guys so much, and we are just praying for you guys to grow deeper in your faith, grow into that godly woman that you are.
Yes. Okay, we'll see you next Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.